You already know what it is. It's your boy Marketing Madam. And first of all, we're actually going to talk about mortgage notes today, right? The very first thing I want to say, okay, is if you're like, yo, what do you know about mortgage notes? I've actually been in the business of marketing it for over a year and with some of the top actual fund and teachers in the space. And I haven't had a chance to talk about it. But today I actually really wanted to get on here and talk about it because I'm going to be talking about real estate a lot more, right? Because I think that the dopest thing that I could have ever done was kind of chill back as I was growing their business and watch them grow a multi-million-dollar fund. And I think they're about to open even a bigger. I don't know if I can tell you how big their new funds are. I don't know if they'll be giving all that information out. But the thing I want to tell you about that is if you do not know what mortgage notes are and how lucrative of an investment opportunity they are for any like regular person to get into, this is definitely for you. Or if you're a real estate investor and you do not have this in your profile and you're trying to figure out how to learn about it or you're trying to jump into it, this may also be for you. Okay. So I'm actually going to do a presentation today because, like I said, I teach people how to grow their businesses and their personal brands. And it's been a while since I've been on here teaching all the things that I'm doing. And since I'm getting so much more into real estate, I was like, there's no way I cannot start just pumping out content and teaching more and more people about this industry because honestly, it's pretty dope. Honestly, it's pretty dope. And, learning about it has been just amazing. And I've watched people over this year just make money. Okay. So that's what we're going to talk about today is that there's people out here that do mortgage note investments. I'm kind of like an in between person. I work with a lot of people in the space of doing the marketing stuff. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about while we're in this process of like actually doing the marketing stuff for people and actually growing their businesses, there's a lot that I've learned. And then, we want to talk about the basics today. First of all, understanding what a mortgage note is and like the lucrative opportunity for it. And I'll go into it from one, the presentation, and two, my own story and situations and students working with it and them raising hundreds of thousands of dollars of capital for notes in a short amount of time because of what you're able to really do, and the risk is not as high. So and the cool thing about me being a marketer and not actually being one of these fund managers and people who do that, I can make mistakes on here about things I'm saying. So if you're watching one of my videos and you hear something on here like that is not correct, please comment down below and then I'll make sure I get my fund guys to look over it and we'll come in at you if you're for sure or not. But I'm actually going to talk about the overall. First of all, what is a mortgage note, making money with a mortgage note, and investment strategies and opportunities. So I look at everything from a marketing perspective, and if you're a person who's trying to get into investment of any sort, and you want to stick out like a sore thumb, I mean, in the best way, stick out like a sore thumb. And what I mean is when you talk about what you're doing as a real estate investor, that it's unique, right? Because the reason why I say that is because doing all the research on the internet, there's not that many people who are looking for mortgage notes or even know about mortgage notes, right? So the crazy thing about it is they know it exists. Every real estate person I know knows it exists, but that's it. So the first thing is, what is a mortgage note? First of all, it's a legal document secured by real estate that you can turn into an investment vehicle. Okay. So a note is the legal document that outlines the terms and conditions of the loan, the purchase of the real estate, including the details such as the loan and the amount and the interest and the repayback schedule, right? Like everything that you're receiving back per month, right? If you've had a loan on your house, you've paid your mortgage every single month and you pay the rent, and that's how it works. So you can actually invest in these things, and the definition of that is that it's secured by the real estate. So if they do not end up paying you all the money that was supposed to be paid in the system that you're supposed to get, you actually get to have their home. Now that doesn't mean you get to have to take it. Doesn't mean you have to be some ruthless person. You can actually restructure the loan, recreate it, and make some more money while they pay off the loan, or maybe drop it for a lower amount for a longer period of time, creating a new opportunity because you will be the bank, right? So an investment, you get interest now. So the types of mortgage notes that exist. So if you're looking to find the type of mortgage notes that exist, you have performing, non-performing, you have first position, second position, and you have, residential, and then you have commercial. So anything in real estate that either has a loan on it or somebody's purchase, or you just purchase it, you have a mortgage note usually on it if there's a mortgage. And mortgage notes can also be created if there isn't a mortgage note. If you're trying to move out of your house, that's how like seller financing kind of happens. You create your own mortgage note, and then you trade out the person in your house, and they begin to actually pay that loan down. Now, risk versus reward, right? I've told you I'm always doing analysis, right? The first thing is that you do get a steady income. Okay, so you get a steady income, way more passive than any other real estate, business that I see out there. The reality is you get a better stability and actual passive income, right? The second thing is in a non-performing note, right? It is the risk of foreclosure, right? And that just can come down to how you bought the property, how you acquired it, how you got the note, and then how much you can end up selling it for, which is, if you do your due diligence, it's the perfect thing, right? It's a lot less due diligence than you would have to do if you were trying to actually like purchase the home, right? Or remodel it or make sure it doesn't have sewer damage and all the other kind of stuff, right? Sometimes that can make a bigger difference, but you have to do due diligence a lot different. You don't have to be, you don't have to be traveling around the world to try to do it. And then market fluctuation, right? So if everybody in the economy kind of just dies, right? Like not dies, like actually dies, but like stops paying bills, the economy flats, you still are owed that money and you still get to keep these assets, right? And these assets can come to you in many different ways if you're moving people out and then starting to rent it after, or selling it again, or creating someone else to sell or finance it into the house. Secondly, right? The market can fluctuate, which is a risk on that. Now, first of all, the biggest thing I'll talk about is doing your due diligence, is what I've learned through these master fund managers of going through their process, making sure they're legally in compliance, doing their due diligence process and getting the documents and stuff like really ironed in the processes that you need. So usually that's the biggest overcoming process you have, is becoming a note investor. Is you usually do not know the basics, right? And that's where you can actually find some of my mentors, some of the links down below. You can comment, or you can comment, I'm looking to learn more about notes and actually want to get into the space of investing. I've spent the last year marketing for these people and working and being in their classes and working with students and watching them raise hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what I do know is that they're also doing it for regular people who are trading in their 401ks and all these other kind of things to do into that. So let's talk about making money with mortgage notes, okay? The first thing is the passive income generation, okay? This is the most amazing part that you really have to understand, is that you're making money on your interest, right? You're making money on the interest rather than the profit margins or what you're doing. You're making on the interest because you're now the bank. And then the cash flow potential is like, you get cash flow every month. People pay their mortgage notes. Imagine if you didn't have to be a landlord and you got paid just as much, because if you were a landlord, you know that once you get the money, the first person you pay is the bank. So why even put yourself in that position? Then it's a long-term investment, right? Because some people have anywhere from 15 to 20 years on their mortgage note process, and that allows you to be able to create that residual income over a long-term investment. That's the most amazing part about it. Like watching them, kind of travel now and kind of grow their business and open up larger funds and do bigger developments in the 20s and the hundreds of millions of dollars, and seeing that all be developed off of them building a portfolio off of their notes. And that's why I really got into it and wanted to teach about it, honestly. Right. So we're talking about distressed debt opportunities, right? Non-performing notes can be purchased at a significant discount, offering to be potentially, basically. So somebody has a note and you want to try to turn non-performing notes into performing notes. It's really, really possible for you to be able to do that as well, right? Property acquisition, being able to get the notes, getting a favorable price, buying it on that one. Value add strategies. You can invest and implement value strategies in the loan and the property and the rehab. So if you're just having the note, right, and you invest in the process, but instead of just selling it, you just sell or finance it and start, receiving that residual income. But most people who are doing flicks and flips, sometimes they need that major cash. But you can actually do that in an economy and do better deals where people are unable to get regular, bank loans. You can really put people in position for that. Okay, so tax advantages, right? We're all talking about all these little kinks that you have in investing in these situations. Is your tax Deferred income diversifies the benefits of like all the things you can get from having multiple notes, right? Because it's not like one stock or two, whatever that is process. It's you have everything, right? So in this situation, most assets, right, in this inflation process, homes usually go upwards, right? And even if they drop down, it doesn't change the amount of loan due on that process. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, there's so many possibilities when you're the bank and you're a person that could be actually creative in the ways that you can make money. It's really amazing. Like you can actually be quite creative with all the sorts of different ways of growing the business overall. Now, right? So there's only three major parts, right, that you're in the business and like the exit strategies and liquidation of it, right? The way that can work is that one, to liquidate, like you're like, oh, I need to get my money back. I don't even know what this is. I got to change this writing over here. I got to get my money back. So basically, if you're looking to get your money back, but you have a note, you can actually sell a portion of it, maybe a front end portion, and take it to a secondary market, sell it to someone else. Loan revolution, like if they decide to settle like a principal and pay something off or something possible that could happen, like if they decide to like refinance or something. And then portfolio rebalancing, offering flexible portfolio rebalancing strategies for people to keep investing in different processes with you to get their money or get your money out. Half the time you didn't realize that in this process of me getting into this industry even more, that how can we actually become millionaires in 2025? And that's really going to be the piece that we're doing, from six figures to $1 million, and understanding how to grow your portfolio, right, and development in that process. So I'm super excited about um, learning more about notes, and I'm really excited for you to learn more about notes, right? As I'm investing in notes, if you're ever thinking about it, hit me up. I got the people who have the notes, invest in the notes, because what I realize about the real estate industry is it is absolutely networking. It's not what you know, it's who you know. So if you're looking for any kind of major loans, got some developments on that process, here's your boy. I got you. Okay. Because honestly, so doing the the analysis, right? I always do a SWOT analysis. I want to look deep into something. I really want someone to see the market side. So the strength is the potential situation with the tax advantages, portfolio diversifying, acquisition of distressed assets, and the real passive income generated from it. Right? That is the most important part, is that you can actually get real passive income that runs in here, and it's way more passive than being a landlord or a wholesaler. It's like you're always in the business of doing the next flip, got to make the next dollar to keep your lifestyle up. The weakness is foreclosures, market sensitivities, and legal complications. But let me tell you something. First of all, foreclosures doesn't necessarily mean you're out of luck. Okay, as the bank, just because something forecloses and it risky, and you can be able to do a foreclosure process, you can come out on top on that major, right? Market sensitivity, the loan is the loan on the home. And if everything blows up, at least you still have the asset, right? Because at the end of the day, the note is to the asset. And then legal complications, just find the right people and get legal advice, and work with real financial advisors on that side as well. Me, I'm just a guy learning about my finances and trying to grow that opportunity to help more and more people. And as I help them grow businesses and help so many regular people grow the business, I know that they're upgrading to the next level. And I just want to be able to come in here and also teach more people about mortgage notes, honestly, because learning about this really changed my life. And I've made people so much money with this, and now getting into the situation. So let's talk about the opportunities, right? So you see the interesting way about how the all the data I did kind of came out, as in the weakness is also the opportunity. You see that the weakness, market sensitivity, they reset it and said market fluctuation. Okay, so the reason why we say you can do a lot of different businesses out there and do a lot of different private lending and lend your money and try to make money back, and that's what a lot of people do. But one thing I'll tell you is that when you're in the market of doing mortgage notes, the opportunity of actually having an asset that's leveraged against it, right? That's that is the biggest thing that is tangible for you. Think about, you have your stuff in the stock market, you have your stuff every single where else, but guess what? But guess what? it feels like it's air. There's nothing tangible attached to it, just the people in the business that you're hoping is going to grow on that side. But now, when you actually do this, you actually have it. So they say the threats of this, right? I do SWOT analysis as a marketer because I'm a marketer firsthand. And as I see that this space, even though the threats and all the possibilities that it says, it still has a way less risk than doing wholesale. Oh, I mean, not this wholesale is a little bit different, but a way less risk of doing like flick and flip and developments and getting into those major things. This has way less risk, and you could be way less in public to make this happen. So these are just talking about just be able to put case studies in here and stuff like that. But I will have some case studies and stuff from some of the fund managers and stuff that I work with, and all the things that they do with their case studies and their all their notes, that they have hundreds of notes, and we do all sorts of case studies. So I'll be bringing that out to you guys as well. And I'm actually just testing this software as well about what it is to build in the note business, right? Because the three phases, you acquisition it, you manage it, and then you resolve, right? So the thing I'll tell you about it is, the cool thing about management and acquisition is this could be 15, 20 years of you getting an investment back, right? This could be 15, 20 years of you getting an investment back and being able to actually make really good money on top of whatever you're putting out, you know? So that's the most powerful part about it. Now, future trends in the market outlook, because that's what I always say, if you're going to get into any business, kind of look at where the future is going. So right now, I'm in the space of technology integration into the space drastically, because all these marketplaces are really starting to tap into AI and use these AI circumstances to really grow their business. And to me, that's really important as well. So regulations, right, and market dynamic is understanding what's about to change. And in the space of moving a lot of notes, man, there's a lot of money about to come into real estate. There is a lot of money about to come into real estate. I see all my fund managers that I'm working with that are growing funds and they're getting investment, and all these major fund companies that you don't know, half of them have money, but they can't even market to the public. So you got to really think about that for yourself if you're in the business. Like, really, what does that look like for you? You know, how do you actually grow that overall business? Purely. So this is just an example. Thank you for the overall presentation that I wanted to put out there. Is basically like, what is a mortgage note and how you can make money with the mortgage note, right? So that's very important for you to understand, because you know, when you're trying to make money on the money that you've already worked in your job super hard to have, you've already grinded all this time to make this kind of money, and you're only getting like 2%, but you could actually take that money out, self-direct anything you have, and put it into another system. And like I said, I am not a financial advisor, so please make sure you go listen to the experts. I'm learning this from actually watching people do this in real life. So to you, that's more important value than the person who goes to school but may have never actually seen it or participated in the journey. Then I appreciate you for your time on my channel, because we'll be talking about a lot of different real estate stuff in general. And I'll be going live a lot more. I know it's late, this live, depending on when you're seeing it, or maybe you're seeing it later. But make sure you comment down below. Make sure you like, you subscribe to the channel. If you have any more information or questions, comment down below. If you're trying to figure out how to get in the industry, let me know. Because the biggest thing that I'll tell you during this process of getting into this note industry, what I've learned by watching people get rich, right? I've watched it. I say that because a lot of people are trying to get into it, right? And they haven't been into it too long, or they have been in it, or they're talking about it from a third party. But I'm literally talking about it from the actual perspective of the fact that, guess what? Money is being made when the situation, you know, money is being made in the situation all the time, and you really just have to figure out how to get to that part. So, I'll be talking about all sorts of things throughout these videos that I grasp. I hope you guys had a wonderful time. I'll be talking about more note conversations and my journey in the real estate space. And I'm hoping that you guys come rock with me in the marketing and the real estate journey, as we just go in this space to be making money online, and the best ways to do it. That I like to bring it out to the table and really show people. Because the one thing that you have to understand is that everybody thinks real estate is the most important thing, and everybody's in that space, how you make the most millionaires. But I realize that most people aren't looking to be ultra rich. They're actually looking to be good enough to go do the things they love. So if you really had to pick up a high income skill in this space, the first thing I would pick up is note investing, because it gives you an avenue of low end risk processes as you can go in and start taking more risk and processes through your opportunities. So yeah, I just wanted to get on here and talk about that today. I hope you guys have a blessed and wonderful day. And until the next stream, I'm probably going to stream a couple times tonight about a couple different topics, but we're really going to get into this marketing space. You know what I'm saying? We're going to really get into this marketing space. So I'll see you guys on the other side.